Yo, what is up, guys? Oscar here with a new video. And this is going to be my post-game reaction to the Washington football team losing to the Los Angeles Chargers. The final score was 20-16. Yes, there were some very good performances, but towards the end, it just, it didn't work out. But if you guys realize, and I'll try to pan the camera as much as I know that I'm in the way, but I do have a special guest in the background, Naeem Abu-Hawa, who will be my queue manager if I need him to be. He's here in the background. We were on vacation. I took him on a family vacation with me this past weekend, and that no nonsense stuff will be uploaded at some point this week. But he's because we came late, we couldn't arrange transportation for him to go back home last night. He decided to stay with me one more day, and he watched some football, some soccer with me today. So I decided to have him in the background. He will not be speaking as much as he loves to talk, but unless I need him to. But he's usually just my queue manager for today. So let's get into this game. Recap real quick. To begin, Justin Herbert, and this is what I was afraid of. I said it, through my in my pregame analysis. I've said it time and time again, and when I was a guest host on Ed Oliver's channel, that Justin Herbert scares me, and I had a right. Justin Herbert, played close to perfect football today. He was chewing up that Washington defense, that secondary. And you're going to say, well, didn't William Jackson III have an interception? He did, but it wasn't enough. Didn't Montez Sweat give him a strip sack? He did, but it wasn't enough. That second, he was able to make the secondary look like amateurs, and I'll talk more about it. So that's my initial reaction. Let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of the game. The good was Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson played very well. Had 100. I believe he had 100 yards rushing. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But he had really strong runs. He had a burst of, I think it was 30 yards plus in the first half. So, I'm very happy with his performance. Just got to get better in the touchdown area. Very, very impressive performance by Antonio Gibson. Dyami Brown had a few big catches. My goodness, Terry McLaurin, he was silent in that first half, but he had an impressive 35-yard grab. I think it was in the second half. When Washington looked dead in the water, they were this close to punting the football, but Taylor Heinnicke, zipped it in there, and Terry McLaurin grabbed it to give them a big-time catch. Terry McLaurin had big catches. Dyami Brown had a few big catches. Logan Thomas with an incredible, touchdown with a big touchdown as well. I believe he also had big-time catches, a big-time catch in that touchdown drive in the second half. So, again, offensively, when Taylor Heinnicke stepped in, he played very well. I liked his performance. I hope Ryan Fitzpatrick, who went down early in the first half, I think he had a back injury or something like that. So I'm hoping that he's okay. He went down. It was a sack. It was gonna be this close to be. It was a forced fumble. He fumbled the football, but Washington recovered it, fortunately. But he got hurt. So let's see if he's okay. But here's the thing: Ryan Fitzpatrick, in the drives that he had, looked dead. He did not do anything. He did not impress. I was this close to tweeting out, "Where's Taylor Heinnicke when we need him?" Little did I know that it was gonna happen that way, but not the way that I expected it. So that's some good. That the offense with Taylor Heinnicke was humming. So, it is what it is there. Let's get into some bad for the Washington. Actually, no. Before I forget, Washington won the turnover battle 2-1, but I'll segue that into the bad as well. Even though Washington did win the turnover battle, but it really towards the end it did not matter, and here's why. Bad, Dustin Hopkins. I'm not gonna put him in the ugly category. I'm not. Because even though he made his first 3 kicks, just cut him. I'm done with Dustin Hopkins. He's not a clutch kicker. He's not. He kicked. He was 3 for 3, and don't give me. Well, he kicked that 49-yard field goal. Good, but he missed a 51-yarder that should have been made towards the end. It didn't happen because Washington was up 16-13. He had a chance at a 51-yard field goal, missed it, and then Washington, that missed field goal gave the Chargers good field position, and then the Chargers just, turned it around after that. Some more bad. Actually, no, I'll save that for the ugly. Let me see what other. The bad were the turnovers. Was the only turnover Antonio Gibson. So Washington gets an interception off of Justin Herbert. And Justin Herbert was driving down the field, about to score a touchdown, when William Jackson III got the interception to kill the momentum. But then what happens right after that? Antonio Gibson gets hit, ball pops out, fumble, and then the Chargers score the go-ahead touchdown. So, again, that was just the bad right there. Antonio Gibson just got to work on ball security. He did have a really good game running the football, but that fumble really killed Washington. Because if Washington would have, taken that in, because I think they were on the march as well. They were actually on the march on certain drives where just got stopped. So it is what it is there. Got to work on ball security. The ugly. Penalties. The penalties killed us, and that's what killed that last field goal of Dustin Hopkins. And, I already spoke on Dustin Hopkins missing the field goal and asking him to get cut. But, that field goal miss had, no excuse. Should have made it. But at the end of the day, that penalty, the holding calls, the personal fouls, the pass interference calls just killed Washington. I think there was a pass interference on Antonio Gibson, and it was a big play too that really just killed Washington's momentum. There was a holding call on who was the left tackle. I think it was I can't remember. A lot of players got shifted. But there was a holding call. Jarrett Patterson had a big burst, but it didn't count because of the penalty. So, and Washington would have been in field goal range if it wasn't for that. So, you just got to fix that up. Got to fix up the penalties. Justin Herbert, the secondary, the defense gave up big plays. I'll put that in the ugly category. Gave up big plays. Gotta bat that pass down. Didn't do it. Got carved up. Let me see. Keenan Allen had a big game. Some second year wide receiver had a big game. Austin Eckler had a big game. So just Jarrett Cook had a big game. The old timer Jarrett Cook had a big game. So gotta work on that secondary. That secondary is overhyped, and I didn't want to. William Jackson III, he did get that interception, but the rest of the secondary just didn't do it for me. Let's see if they improve in week 2. It's a short week. Washington faces the Giants in week 2. I'm gonna keep tabs on the Giants game here and there. Just either via videos or looking at the score, just scoreboard watching. So, alrighty guys. To wrap this up, good offensive game when Taylor Heinnicke stepped in, but penalties and Dustin Hopkins ultimately killed Washington. Therefore, Washington loses 20-16. But we'll have to wait and see what Ryan Fitzpatrick, how his health will be. I think it was a hip injury. That's what it was. It was a hip injury. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. I hope he's okay as a Washington fan. But me personally, I think that Taylor Heinnicke, give him the start. Give him the start in the Giants game. Why not? You know, he played very well in the playoffs last year. Last minute, and like he was called up last minute in that playoff game, and he played very well in that second half in today's game. So why not give him the start? So alrighty guys, that'll do it for this video. Next up will be my Real Madrid reaction, and I have a lot to say about that game. It was a happy result, but there are certain things that did catch my attention. But that will be coming up next. Alright guys, peace.